Hello everyone and welcome back to Crochet Delight. So today we're taking some beautiful flowers and we are actually going to boil them, and we're going to see if we can get some of the color out of them so that we can dye some wool. So right now I've got it at a boil. I'm going to turn it down to low and I'm going to steep the flowers. Actually gonna push them down and keep them down for a little bit. And let's see if I can, there we go. There's a little light on the subject. So I've got some flowers. I took all the flower petals, broke them up, and put it in the pot. It smells really good in this house now. And I'm just going to boil it for a couple hours on low. And I'm going to get the color out of them. And we are going to dye some wool. So, I'll see you guys when we get back. Alright, so as you guys can see, all of the flower petals are a yellowy mush. They had a lot of yellow in them. And you can see the water is a little yellowy, but it's got a little bit of a pink, so this might come out as a peach. But whatever color it does come out on the wool, it's going to be very, very light. So I'm following a tutorial that I found, and in that tutorial they don't use any mordant. So what a mordant is it's the thing that makes the color stick. But I'm going to try and follow the tutorial. I'm going to take this aside. I'm going to strain out all of these little flower petals. And I've got about 12 flowers worth of flower petals. I'm not going to be dyeing too much yarn or wool. And then I'm going to get my wool that I've had soaking in warm water, and I'm going to put it in the pot when all of the flowers are out, and then I'm going to let it sit for a little while and let it stew and let the color absorb. Alright, I strained out all of the flower petals and there you have it. They're all nice and yellow and pale, and the color is all in the pot. And over here I have my wool that I had soaked in warm water so that when I put it into here, it's not going to fully shock the fibers. And what I'm going to do is this is uncarded wool. I'm just going to put that in. And I already drained all the water out of it. And here's a tip. Don't use your hands. You're going to want to use a spoon. That way you don't burn yourself. I'm just being a little stupid today. So, do as I say, not as I do. And as you can tell, some of the color has already taken. But I'm going to let that sit. And I'm just going to let it take up the color. And we'll see it when it's all finished. Hi everyone, so I went and I dried out the wool. So I'm going to show you a before and after kind of, but I'm going to do it right here. On camera you're going to have a little trouble seeing the color difference, but once I hold up some plain wool, some plain white wool, you'll be able to see the difference. I did go back and I didn't like that she didn't use a mordant, so I used vinegar. I believe when you're doing plant fibers it's salt, but when it's wool fiber, you can use vinegar. Unless you're dyeing with avocado. If you're dyeing with avocado, the pit is the mordant. And for onions, it's the onion that's the mordant, so that I know you don't have to do anything for, but I'm very curious to see what it is to dye wool with an onion. It's probably going to have the smell, no doubt, but a purple onion. I'm gonna try that eventually, not right now, but you guys will see that, and upcoming you will see videos that have absolutely nothing to do with yarn or wool, and I am gonna do more videos about actual yarn from Paradise Fibers, not just wool from Paradise Fibers or from other places. So there will be yarn going on. And just to clarify, I did get the Malabrigo wool thing sorted out, the missing wool. And Malabrigo is a brand. It's a very expensive brand, apparently. But, yeah, I got that sorted out. I got the 3 missing Malabrigo braids, so that's great. But what you guys are here for is you're here to see if the experiment worked. So the flowers that I used were yellow and red, which means fiery passion. Red is just love. It's passion, it's love. Yellow is friendship, but when you put yellow and red together, it becomes fiery passion. And that is so beautiful, and they're a beautiful rose. I'm gonna see if I could try and put a picture of what the roses looked like before they went into the pot, because as you could tell, they turned yellow in the end, but that was because I boiled them down and got all the color out, and it was like a pinkish yellow, kind of. The wool you're about to see, half of it's dry, half of it's not. The top part that I'm going to show you, that you guys are going to see, is dry, so you'll actually be able to see the difference, and I can see a difference in this because I have them sitting on my lap, and I'm going to stop boring you in just a second. So, I have this. This is a giant ball of roving, a giant ball of wool that is plain. It's white. And this is what the wool looked like right before we put it in the little rose petal dye concoction that I added some vinegar. There we go. Sorry, my brain's been everywhere, and I'll tell you why after. But this is what it looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. So, like I said, you can't really see that much of a difference on the camera, at least, but right here in person, let's see if I can get that. You might be able to see a little bit of a difference. This kind of got a little messed up in the whole pot, but I don't care. I have a carder. I'll recard it. But that was actually the difference. It's a very, very slight difference because the flowers that I used didn't have that much color. So, and I actually let that set overnight to cool down. But there we go. There's one little experiment to show that dyeing with flowers can actually be done. I know that it's done with cotton and other things, but I wanted to try it with wool because it's like, well, I'm actually moving to a place where it has flowers, so I keep thinking, well, why waste the flowers? I mean, I can enjoy them, and then when they're at their end, I can reuse them and then throw them in a compost, which right now I don't have a compost, but I will once I move, and I'm going to be moving to a beautiful 200-year-old house. I mean, my house that I'm in, I'm trading this 200-year-old house, 200-plus-year-old house, for another house that's 200-plus. Reason being, this house has some really bad memories, and I want to be away from it a lot. So, that, and there's some things, there's one thing, it dips. Like, the entire house dips into the center, so everything's leaning. That's easily fixed, kind of, because this is a house that was built way back when it was just the frame that was built, and then they put the floors in. It wasn't like they did a floor, then built on top of that, and on top of that, it was the entire frame, then floors, so it's that old. And old enough where they actually stuffed the walls with shoes, clothing, paper, whatever they could find to insulate the house. That's how old this is. So, my mind's been everywhere, so I'm sorry if I've been babbling on or if I didn't get to showing you guys the wool that fast, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. I'm gonna experiment a little more with natural dyeing. I've got a book coming for natural dyes because that's something I really want to use, because like I said, I'm moving to a place where I'm gonna have a lot of flowers. I'm gonna have goldenrod, I'm gonna have tiger lilies. I mean, I have tiger lilies here. Those things pop up everywhere. They never die. So if any of you have a brown thumb instead of a green thumb, get tiger lilies. There's no way you can kill those. Those come back, I know. I have a small one that I just transplanted the bulb into a pot and it keeps dying on me, but then it comes right back. So those things will never ever truly die. And they're beautiful. There's so many different colors. There's the orange ones, the tiger lilies. There's the pink ones, the white ones, the red ones. There's the multicolored ones. There's so many different colors and variations of tiger lilies. And I have the orange ones, and I think mine are all gone by now. I could open up the door and go out and pick some if they're still alive. But if they're not, oh well. But I'm going to be experimenting more with natural dyes, including pomegranate. I really want to do that. And the onions. I'm very curious to see what and how the wool takes to onions. So I might actually wait until I have yarn spun up and then dye that with onions or pomegranate or more flowers. And I'm kind of curious. What about the stems? Can you take stems and the leaves and get color out of those and dye that? Is that possible? If not, we're gonna find out. And I'm gonna do some dyeing with candy. I might do Skittles, I might do... who knows? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are looking forward to more videos. I'm sorry that I turned to this kind of from a crochet channel to more of a dyeing wool channel and a spinning channel. I'm trying to even it out, but it's a little hard. So thank you again, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a delightful day, and happy hooking, everyone!